On a seemingly ordinary, quiet Tuesday morning, in a peaceful suburban neighborhood, an elderly woman, living alone and enjoying her golden years, answered her door. Little did she know, this simple act would soon plunge her into a terrifying ordeal. Standing before her were two seemingly friendly men, dressed in work clothes, exuding an air of trustworthiness and offering a helping hand. They offered to tidy her garden, which had become a bit overgrown, for a small, reasonable fee. It seemed like a simple, harmless proposition. She agreed, feeling reassured by their polite manner and the promise of a neater garden. She welcomed them onto her property, unaware of the sinister intentions lurking beneath their friendly facade. But their work was all show, a charade of activity designed to deceive. They moved a few leaves, clipped a couple of branches. Little was actually done to improve the state of her garden. The promised transformation never materialized. Soon, their tone changed, the friendly smiles replaced by serious, almost aggressive expressions. The atmosphere shifted, becoming heavy with unspoken menace. They claimed to have found, during their inspection of the garden, a serious, urgent problem with her drains, a problem that needed immediate and costly attention. The price skyrocketed, inflated beyond belief, from a small sum for gardening to thousands of pounds for this fabricated drain repair. It was a blatant attempt to swindle her out of her savings. They pressured her relentlessly, their voices growing louder and more intimidating, insisting on immediate payment, demanding cash up front, fueling her anxiety and fear, and warning of dire consequences, painting a grim picture of potential damage and further expenses if she refused to comply with their demands. The men followed her inside, crossing a boundary, invading her personal space, using fear and intimidation to overwhelm her, making her feel trapped and vulnerable in her own sanctuary. This was no longer about gardening. The pretense had completely vanished. It was a calculated scam, a carefully orchestrated act of deception designed to exploit her trust and steal her money. Preying on her trust and vulnerability, exploiting her age and her desire to maintain her home. Isolated and frightened, feeling the weight of their pressure, she felt powerless in her own home, a prisoner of their greed and manipulation. But a neighbor living nearby heard the commotion, the raised voices, and the unusual disturbance, and sensed something was wrong, noticing the unusual activity and the palpable tension in the air. Instead of ignoring it, dismissing it as a private matter, they took decisive action and called the police, reporting their suspicions and seeking help for their vulnerable neighbor. That call broke the scammers' control, disrupting their carefully laid plans and exposing their deceitful scheme, and brought help, offering a lifeline to the frightened woman and restoring a sense of safety and security. This incident reminds us, a stark reminder of the dangers lurking in our communities. Our best defense is each other, a strong and supportive network of neighbors looking out for one another. Looking out for neighbors, being vigilant and aware of our surroundings, especially those who are vulnerable, elderly, or living alone, offering them support and protection, can stop scams in their tracks, preventing these heartless criminals from preying on innocent victims. It only takes one person, one caring neighbor, to notice and act, to raise the alarm and prevent a tragedy from unfolding. Scammers rely on silence and isolation, thriving in environments where victims are too afraid or ashamed to speak out. Community vigilance is their greatest enemy, shining a light on their dark deeds and exposing their lies. We must never underestimate, never take for granted the power of a watchful neighbor, the impact of a caring community. Together we can turn the tide, creating safer and more supportive neighborhoods against those who prey on the vulnerable, protecting our communities from these heartless predators. Let's make sure no neighbor faces these threats alone, standing together, united in our commitment to protect and support one another. Scammers thrive on urgency and confusion. They understand that when people are stressed and not thinking clearly, they're much more susceptible to manipulation. They invent crises, often out of thin air. They might claim there's a broken drain that needs immediate attention or a severe computer virus that's about to wipe out all your data. All designed to rush you into making hasty decisions before you have time to think or consult with someone you trust. Overwhelming you with technical jargon, terms you've never heard before and can't possibly understand in the moment, they make you feel dependent on their expertise. creating a situation where you feel like you have no other choice but to trust them. They start friendly, building trust with a disarming smile and a seemingly helpful attitude, then quickly turn aggressive if you hesitate or question them, using intimidation to get their way. Their ultimate goal is to isolate you so you don't seek advice or help from anyone who might expose their scam. They discourage you, often quite forcefully, from contacting family members or trusted professionals. If you're alone and without support, you're their ideal target, making you more vulnerable to their manipulative tactics. But even a simple interruption, like a quick call to a friend to ask their opinion or a friendly neighbor stopping by unexpectedly, can be enough to break their carefully constructed spell. Never, ever let anyone pressure you into making quick decisions right there at your door. The community's outrage was immediate and fierce, a visceral reaction to the violation they all felt. It was a shared sense of injustice that ignited a firestorm of concern and determination. Neighbors felt betrayed, deeply saddened that one of their own, a vulnerable member of their community, was targeted by such a cruel scheme. The sense of security they once took for granted was shattered, but shock quickly turned to action, a collective decision to not be victims, to reclaim their peace of mind and protect each other from future threats. Residents swiftly formed a WhatsApp group, a digital neighborhood watch, to share alerts, exchange information, and check on each other's well-being in real time. They pledged to watch for unfamiliar vans and any other suspicious activity that might indicate a potential threat to their community. They also committed to proactively support elderly neighbors during unexpected visits, offering assistance and ensuring their safety and comfort. The neighbor who called the police, the one who acted on their gut feeling, was hailed as a hero by the grateful community, but insisted it was just common sense. A simple act of looking out for one's neighbors, something anyone would have done. Acting on suspicion, even if it feels awkward and uncomfortable, even if you worry about being wrong, can ultimately save someone from harm, protecting them from potential danger and exploitation. This collective vigilance, this shared responsibility, transformed the street into a united front, a powerful symbol of community resilience. The message to scammers and those who prey on the vulnerable is crystal clear. This community stands together, shoulder to shoulder, ready to defend its own. Here, every move is scrutinized, every stranger is noticed. You are being watched, and because of your deceitful intentions, you are most certainly not welcome. Police urge everyone to be skeptical of unsolicited offers at the door. Genuine tradespeople don't cold call or demand cash up front. Always ask for ID and verify it using official contact details, not numbers they provide. Refuse services if there's no paperwork, marked vehicle, or references. Use the 4-step rule. Stop, chain, check and report. Stop and think before opening the door. Use a door chain or spy hole. Check their identity thoroughly. Report any suspicious behavior, even if you're unsure. Your vigilance helps protect the whole community. The strongest defense against scams is a connected community. Talk openly about scams with neighbors and family, especially those who are vulnerable. Set up no cold callers zones and share lists of trusted tradespeople. Organize meetings with police or trading standards for up-to-date advice. If you see something suspicious, check in. Sometimes a simple "is everything all right?" is enough. Scammers thrive on isolation. We defeat them with connection. Let's pledge to look out for each other and share information. Together we are stronger, and scammers don't stand a chance.